As we head into spring, we want to start also thinking about bringing our irrigation system back online. Now, a lot of times we just shut it down in the winter time, and that's fine, but before it becomes a necessity this summer, we want to make sure that we've got it up and running. So the one thing you want to do before you start anything is to kind of visually inspect any heads that you might have had and make sure that they don't seem to be too much of a problem or damaged or anything like that before we actually turn them on. Especially check the ones that might be up near the driveway where they might have accidentally gotten hit by a car as it pulled in or backed up. The other thing you want to do is go ahead and check those valve boxes just to make sure that you don't see visibly any damage to them. Now be careful when you're opening these up because a lot of times some winter animals might have found some refuge in there during those colder temperatures. So a lot of times you'll find toads, you might find a snake or even some black widow spiders in there, or even some rodents that might have made a nest. So if you find any debris in there, go ahead and clean that out. Just be careful and make sure to wear gloves as you're doing that. Now, after you've kind of visually inspected everything, it's time to go ahead and take a look at your controller. Now, just like we changed our clocks in our home recently, you also want to make sure that the time on your controller is accurate so that you know that your irrigation is going off when it's supposed to be going off. After you've checked your time, you also want to make sure that, again, your display looks like it's working accurately and all the wires are okay and haven't been chewed or anything like that or damaged in any way. The other thing is if you have a wireless controller, now's a good time to go ahead and change those batteries, just kind of like your smoke detector that you change at daylight savings time. Go ahead and change those batteries in your wireless controllers so that you're ready to go through into that summer season. Once you've done that, it's time to go ahead and start turning on our system. A lot of times that might start by turning on the main line if you've turned that off during those winter months. So usually that's a ball valve that you're going to slowly turn on so that it doesn't pressurize the system and cause any jarring of those pipes. So slowly turn that on. The other thing you want to be mindful of is if you have opened any drain valves or any soaker hoses or anything like that, while that will help flush that out initially, you do want to make sure that you close those eventually so that you're not just losing your water that way. So once we've got water in our system, we will want to go ahead and turn our zones on. So one of the best ways to do this is go back to the controller and actually do a cycle test. So where you can go and if your controller doesn't have that, a lot of times you can just put a program in there where you run through each zones for about 3 minutes. That usually is enough time to allow you to visually inspect each one of those zones. Again, making sure that they're not bubbling from down at the base of that head where it might be cracked. Also, you want to make sure that they are covering properly. So if you have rotors or sprays that maybe the spray is going off onto the sidewalk, you want to rotate those and adjust those. Now keep in mind, landscapes hopefully are growing. That's the point. And as landscapes grow, sometimes those plants will interfere with the coverage of your sprays and different heads that you have. So now is a good time also to make sure that you are getting good coverage, that that shrub hasn't grown too much and isn't interfering with range or the reach of that water. If that's the case, it might be time to go ahead and adjust your actual irrigation system and look at replacing some of those for a more appropriate spray or delivery method of that water. If you want to do that, or if you have any major damage, now's a good time to go ahead and call an irrigation company to come in and fix that. Once you've got all of that repaired, and you're ready, or if you don't have any repairs to make, if you're ready to go ahead and start your irrigation, it's important to remember to go ahead and set that schedule. The best time to water is early in the morning, and the reason why is because it allows the plants and the landscape to go into the day well hydrated. It also allows that water that might be on the foliage and around that plant to go ahead and dry off during the day, so it reduces any fungus or pathogens that might grow on those plants. And when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're watering your plants deeply and less frequently. This will encourage those roots on your plants to establish deeper down into the ground, making them more resilient as we go into those hot, drier months. And as we go into those hot, drier months, it also means you're going to have to look at your irrigation schedule regularly to see if it's still appropriate as those temperatures heat up. Now, while you've inspected your irrigation system now, early in the spring, it is important to visually inspect it about once a month. Often our irrigation schedule is set to come on early in the morning, so we might not even ever see it. So once a month, make sure to regularly go through that test cycle so that you can check and make sure none of your heads have been damaged. Doing all of this now will save you a headache later.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.